you're actually going over to Africa.
Yeah.
To film.
Right, I'm going to Africa.
To film a TV show.
Yeah, I'm doing it. It's the year of return. It's been 400 years since the slave boats left Africa, Ghana in particular. My partner, my boy, journalist, Cujo, decided, he said, yo, man, it's time to go home. And we should film, because he's been pushing veganism and pushing health living and don't bring the Western mentality of fast food to kill us off in Africa too. So I get to take my family, and I got the itinerary. It's 10 days. I get colonization. What is it? I get colonized as a chief or a king. Mm-hmm. I get some land.
Same thing. We're talking about this. Michael Jai White,
right,
who was just here, and he was made a chief as well over there.
Our king. As you are now traditionally clothed, and now you are home, we can identify you by your cloth as one of us.
You know what the cool part is? We have nowhere to go. We are home. America is home to all black people in America. This is it. Like, literally, they yell, we built this. True statement in the history is the Spanish came first, obviously, because they paid Columbus. They didn't go to South America. They went into Charleston, didn't like it, left their slaves. It's called the Gully Islands, right outside Charleston. Still speak their native tongue. They've been fighting to keep this island to themselves forever. The mainland been trying to own it, but they hit that, and that's their island. They've never been enslaved. They stay their distance. So yeah, we've been here first. So this is home for me. So black, like Morgan Freeman said, Black History Month. Thank you, but every month is Black History Month. But I get to go to a place I can now call home.
I remember Akon.
Yep. Part of my influence.
Yeah, I've known him forever. Done a bunch of interviews with him and so forth. One of the coolest people I know. He was on Drink Champs. And he pointed out something interesting because he does a lot of business in Africa.
Right.
He started record labels over there. There's the whole Lighting Africa project, which is insane. Me and him talked about that. 15 countries in Africa. Do you remember which countries?
Oh man, we're in Senegal, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Gabon, Niger, Guinea-Conakry, Mali. I mean, Ivory Coast. A couple more, like we pretty much everywhere.
Okay, and how many people now have electricity in their house?
From our program, I think it's probably impacting close to 15, 16 million people now.
You can also see everything when you light up a place.
Yeah.
And the reason you don't light up the Congo is because they want to see what's under it. Part of Avatar was real. Avatar, when you see that part, that place is the Congo. So I understand helping people move into the modern age and get clean water.
Yeah.
Get clean water.
Start with that.
Let's start that. I can have a candle and some clean water.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a light and no damn water.
But he said something interesting. He said, imagine if all the American athletes and entertainers took their talents to Africa. Imagine how much money would be generated over there. And that's just two segments of the workforce.
That's it. I watch that. I think everything Akon does is bomb. I think it is the greatest.
Yeah.
I saw the panels he was on and I was like, yo, that's it. Like, I keep going to China every year. China keeps going to Africa. I said, what am I doing?
You know what I'd heard? I don't know if this is true or not, but a Chinese close associate of mine told me about this. They're saying that the Chinese have been systematically giving loans to these African countries, which they ultimately can't pay back, and they're taking more and more land in different parts of Africa from these loans, and they're slowly starting to take over Africa.
They're buying Africa.
Buying Africa, essentially. That's true?
That's very true.
Deep.
Let me tell you what else they're doing in China. On China, they show, This Week in Africa, they show good stories. They show nice people. They don't show bandanas and machine guns and killers and kidnappers. They don't show the animals jumping in your car, people getting mauled by tigers.
Right.
They show the humanity of Africa. They show how wonderful these people are. They talk about how this used to be the way we were told to look at it, because Americans, literally in their television and their films, have convinced us that they're savages. Their treatment. So the Chinese, when I was there, I saw more about Africa and China than I've ever seen in America, and they can't tell me I wasn't looking for it, because I was. I have tons of African art. I've been looking. I've been into it. I changed my name back in the 80s with one of my African names. I had African American.
What was your African name?
I'm not using it.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
But I literally, I was at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. I was reading books. Somebody told me, stop calling yourself an African American and call yourself an American. You know nothing about Africa. And I said, I know about Africa. He said, give me 5 countries and name the 5 capitals of the countries and tell me the language they speak. I said, okay.
Yeah.
I can do that now. So that's
just
the
fact that Americans typically refer to every country in Africa as just Africa.
As Africa.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I said, I'm going to Ghana. They asked me why. Yeah. I want to go to the Republic of the Congo. I know the man there. You understand? I had this rapper who I won't say his name. They kind of went behind me, did this deal, but he understands I'm a good dude. That's why I know what they're trying to do in the Congo. I paid attention to what was going on in Gabon. My nephew is in South Africa, in Cape Town. I talked to somebody in Joburg. I want to go to Madagascar because I saw the movie. I'm going to Cairo, right, to speak, to see the pyramids and find some spaceships. You know what I'm saying? I'm just literally, I've been seeing it. I'm going to touch it, smell it, feel it, send my energy to it.
You're going to see when you touch down in Africa, because I spent time in Senegal, you're going to see what it's like in the absence of American racism.
Got it. I found that out. There was 200. This is what they told me.
Yeah.
There was 200 million Nigerians. And when somebody told me that, I said, wait, there's only 379 million Americans. There was 200 million Nigerians. If you grab another country and put it right next to it, all of America can just fit in 2 of the countries. All of America can fit in 2 of the countries on the continent of Africa. That's amazing. So I sat there and I was like, wow. And on the news, everybody's black. Except for, what's Julia Roberts' brother's name? Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts is in so many.
Eric Roberts, right?
And Eric Roberts is in so many movies in Nigeria. He's the man. He's the man.
But remember, I told when I'm telling you this, when you touch down, you're going to touch down in Africa. Like when I was in Senegal, it's like you just see all these black people who are completely comfortable in where they are. They could trace their families back probably hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. They know that they belong there and you're just a visitor.
Right.
And there's no tension. I'm not going to say there's no racism, but there's no American racism, which has a very, horrid, horrific history with the brutality and so forth like that.
Well, don't forget the Belgians.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Just as bad as.
Yeah. And I didn't learn about him until way later.
Oh,
That's not taught in school. What was his name? That one.
Leopold.
Yeah, the one that just brutalized the Congo. Yeah. Absolutely. But
as they say, we don't die, we multiply.
Right. They don't talk about Hitler, but they talk about Hitler, but not him.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Because the Jews in America are the ones who helped finance the war in the 40s. So part of the deal was they were given and cut out the state of Israel. This is what people are like going back and forth. All you got to do is do the history. And they said, when it comes to Hitler, we will never forget.
Yeah.
So when you have television and media and comedians and newspapers, you can constantly help the narrative, but you can also make history remember a certain situation. I tell people all the time, Hitler was in their situation, but now you have to look at the Catholic Church that was backing it. You have to look at the banks that were backing it. You have to see the other countries that were allowed in business with him. Remember, he wasn't in a world war by himself. Italy was a part of it.
Yep.
So
Russia was a part of it at one point, then things went bad.
Right. More people had concentration camps.
Yeah.
Italy had concentration. France had concentration camps. Here in America, we had endearment, whatever they had, the Japanese, however they want to call it, quarantined off of Olympic in Lucerne. Listen, everybody was doing bad stuff at that time. I think Hitler did some atrocious things. I think it was 1.2 million black people were killed in the Holocaust too.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that was a horrible thing, but the powers that be, the Jewish strong-arm powers here, and I tell people all the time, Farrakhan travels with 3 rabbis most of the time, his friends. He is not hating the religion. He just wants us to think like they do. Don't forget, make a decision, be economically strong and mentally strong as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Mashallah.
John Salley, always a pleasure.
Deuce is 22.
Yes, sir.
Give me a job, man.
Till next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.